Wow. $5. Mana to the moon, everybody. Mana to the moon. So we are now at $5.36 and climbing for mana. Decentraland. Told you guys about this one way back at $1. And I was picking it up. I was talking about it months ago. I said, mana, this thing is an interesting idea. I liked it. It's an Ethereum token. So it's going to rise with Ethereum, but it also has its own unique catalyst, which is that it powers this virtual reality world in which people can become something or create something other than just being themselves. They can have a virtual reality person and they can live in this world. They can buy things in this world. They can interact in this world. And now that Facebook has kind of made this announcement that they're rebranding to Meta, and this allows them to get into this space, this virtual reality space, or this metaverse as they call it. And this has brought new life to this space, which has sent mana to the moon. And we are now at $5. And hopefully we're going to go to $10 and $20. I told you guys, I made a video earlier today and I said once it broke $3, it hit $3.50 and then it came back down. So you can see today we had this rocket up to $3.50 and then we had this pullback to $3, hit around $2.90. And I was saying that if it could hold that $2.90 or that $3, that we could see this thing shoot back up. And if it broke $3.50, then we'd be going to the moon. We'd hit $4 or $5. You know, I didn't think it would happen today, but I thought it could happen over the next few days, especially with the amount of momentum we've seen in this thing. But wow, $5. You know, and I was saying that this thing could probably go to $5 in the next month, but in the next day, that's just insanity. So we'll see what's going to happen here. We have no price action. We have nothing to go on other than the fact that this thing is now, you know, making all-time highs. That any price above 536, anything above 540 now is a new all-time high. But what we can tell is that there's a lot of hype behind this, and there's a lot of upward momentum. So we could see this thing continue to go to 6 or 7, but we don't know if that's going to be consistently, and whether we're going to have consolidation or whether this is just going to pull all the way back down. Because you see, when you look to the left, you see a lot of consolidation around $3 and around that kind of 350 area. So I think that this thing might go back down to those levels once people kind of, the hype and everything dies down. But right now, I think this thing could just keep going. And with the hype and the kind of, you know, anytime you attach Facebook to one of these tokens, these things can go to the moon. So who knows? $10, $20 is not unreasonable for this thing to go to $100. You know, we saw Solana do that a couple of weeks ago. We saw Solana go from I think it was $20 to $250, right? So if this thing goes to $20 and then, you know, $250, it's not that crazy to think. So I was selling some around $3 and I was hoping to add some below $3, but unfortunately I didn't add in that dip, and it kind of is now, you know, at levels that are a little overbought. So I'm not necessarily wanting to add to my position, but I think that if it can hold at these levels over the next day or so, then I'm probably going to add for a move higher to 15, you know, to 10 to 15 to 20. We'll see what happens. But as of right now, I think I'm just going to hold. I'm not going to be selling unless this thing starts to tank all the way back down below 5. But I think for right now, we're at a pretty decent level. So for right now, I'm going to be holding and hoping that this thing just continues with the hype, but we never know. Obviously, up 400% in a week is pretty crazy. But then again, I said that at 200%, that was pretty crazy. So you never know. Right now, I already sold, took profit, so I'm just going to hold. People that aren't in, I don't know. I can't imagine. It's unbelievable, right? So I would just say probably right now it's best to sit and wait on the sidelines if you're not already in it. But if you are looking to get in it, then any time is a better time than not, because this thing just constantly keeps going higher. It seems to be stalling at 536 right now. I can't get a updated price because that was a few minutes ago. So this thing might even be ripping higher. Usually when it takes time for the price to come through, it's because there's so much volume that they're trying to, or the algorithm or the whatever, the system is working out all the different orders that are coming through. So it's basically just figuring out the imbalance, whether there's a buy imbalance and this thing wants to go higher, or whether there's more people selling. But currently, obviously, with the trading activity, you can see there's still 79% on the buy side. So it's looking like this thing might go to $10, and that's crazy. But you know, that's just crypto. So it's like I say, it can always go down as much as it can go up. So anybody that's holding and hoping, just make sure you take profits. That's the big thing, right? Just take profits as you go, because right now it's basically just play money for me. Like, I only put in 300 and I've already taken out like close to 300 or 400. So it's like, man, how much more profit can you take, right? But anyway, at this point, I think "Man to the Moon" is the kind of slogan and the motto that I'm going to be taking for the next little bit. Man it to the moon. Hopefully we can see this thing hit $10-20 in the next week or so. And if anybody is thinking about buying it, well, just remember that the virtual reality world is something that is not really talked about. It's not really something that's hype yet. Doesn't have a lot of, PR around it, but it is definitely something that is going to be the future. It is something that a lot of these companies, as Facebook, has made clear, it is going to be a lot of the focus for a lot of these AI, and a lot of these tech companies are going to want to get into the virtual reality world. So that's going to be definitely a place where people are going to be putting a lot of their money, and kind of like with like magic mushrooms and a lot of these other different new ventures, that there's a lot of momentum. So it's speculative, so you got to be careful. You don't necessarily want to be putting all your money, or money that you can't afford to lose, but definitely if you have money that you're kind of wanting to gamble with, you could say, throw in there and see what happens, then Mana is definitely a good place for that. Although wait for a pullback, that's all I can say, because at this point this is just unreal. And the fact that it's been like 15 or 20 minutes and I haven't been able to get an updated price kind of scares me, because it's like, is there so much of an imbalance, or there's so much volume that this thing is, so it's probably going to either go up or down huge whenever we get an updated price. Because the last time it was like 450 and I got an updated price, and then it came out at like 540. So who knows what the next updated price is. But anyway, Man it to the Moon. That's all I got to say. And I'm going to be out for this one. But hopefully you guys are holding. And if you're not holding, well, wait for a dip and throw some money at her. That's all I got to say. But never risk anything you can't afford to lose. And always be careful and cautious with any investment. That's all I got to say. Have a good day, guys.